Welcome to Delaware Day Night. I am Eric Racer-Schramm. I am your official host this evening. I also may be known to some of you as Mr. Delaware 250. I'm the executive director of Delaware 250. So this evening we're having a statewide trivia contest. This is the first of its kind that we're having. We're very excited. We have 6 folks out at the locations, all of you at the locations. Hello, we're excited to have you. The way the game will work this evening is there will be about 60 questions. Everybody gets to answer the question individually on their phones. The faster you answer that question, the more points you get. So again, we're asking that everybody is honest and fair, but if you go on Google to try to find the answer, you're gonna get less points. We also, like I said, have the live stream videos that's happening. We'll have here in the room with the governor and the Secretary of State, we'll have some fun with ice cream tasting. There are surprise flavors that the Secretary of State will be putting in front of the governor, and they get to try those. We will also have some interviews, and throughout the game, we have 4 door prizes that will happen. Those door prizes are random draws, so if you are the person that wins that door prize, pop-up will happen on your screen. Those are $50 gift cards. And again, just you all know, and I think that's why many of you are playing, but the top prize for the Mr. or Mrs. or whoever Delaware is $1,000. $500 is the second prize, and $250. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to the governor. Governor Meyer.
Thank you so much, Mr. 250, Eric. I appreciate it. Welcome, everyone. We're excited for this first statewide trivia celebrating Delaware Day. You might know that December 7th, 1787, Delaware became the first state to ratify the Constitution. 30 delegates in Dover voted unanimously. You probably already know that. That's why we're called the first state. What you might not realize is that for 5 days straight, the United States had one state, and that state was Delaware. This is all America had. Then Pennsylvania ratified, and the rest, as they say, is history. Listen, I'm not here alone today as your governor. I'm very fortunate to be joined by Delaware's Secretary of State, who her and her team, along with Mr. 250, Eric, have done tremendous work to make tonight possible. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. I'm here with our Secretary of State, our distinguished Secretary of State, Charuni Patibanda-Sanchez. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Governor. Thank you for having us. And thank you for allowing us to make Matt Chats into a Cold Ones episode, where we'll be tasting some ice cream today from local Delaware vendors. And you'll have to guess the flavors as we talk about Delaware history.
Great. That's a nice little surprise. Why don't you talk a little bit first? Secretary of State nationally, Secretary of State Rubio, people know that is sort of the leading diplomat in the country dealing with foreign governments. Here, the Department of State is different, and the Secretary of State is a different job, but a very important job, actually the third in the line of succession. So the governor, lieutenant governor, and then Secretary of State. Talk a little bit about what the Department of State does every day for Delawareans.
Sure. Someone actually asked me, do we do trade missions to New Jersey? Is that what Secretary of State secretaries do?
No, no. New Jersey does trade missions to Delaware.
True. Invest in Delaware. We're #1. So it's a great question. Thank you, Governor. A lot of people don't know, but as another fun fact that is not a part of the trivia tonight because it's such a well-known fact is that we are the #1 home of corporations globally. And that is what we refer to as our corporate franchise. And so the Secretary's office is in charge. We defend, we protect, we promote the corporate franchise.
No, wait a minute. I have friends on social media.
Ice cream #1,
All right.
but go ahead.
Ice cream #1.
Yes. You have friends on social media.
Who and not everybody's a friend. Some acquaintances, some not so acquaintances.
Oh, okay.
Who are out there saying that Delaware corporate franchise, it's over. It's all these companies are leaving. I think 7 companies, 12 companies have left Delaware this year. How many entities have registered in Delaware? New entities have registered in Delaware this year?
Approximately 250,000, up almost 13% actually from last year.
250,000. So we're doing pretty well.
I mean, we're #1.
Maybe like better than ever before.
I mean, we're strong. The franchise is strong. And I think that detractors on social media, they may want to say what they want to say, but when it comes down to it, if you have a business case or a controversy that you need settled, you want the Court of Chancery. You want really, really smart business judges that are going to get to a result quickly, efficiently, and fairly. And that's really what every business leader wants at the end of the day, and that's what they get here in Delaware.
Great. I appreciate that. So I want you also to just tell, a lot of people don't realize your amazing history. It's an incredible American story, actually. Your grandfather, I think it was the founder of the electronics company of India, the state electronics company in what is now the largest country in the world, in Hyderabad, India, right?
Yeah. So thank you for the opportunity to speak a little bit about my family history. So I have my maternal grandfather, Dr. A.S. Rao. He was a part of the Atomic Energy Commission of India, and through that work, he was a physicist, and he spun out and started an electronics company, which was headquartered in Hyderabad. And so my mom actually grew up all of her life in Bombay, because that's where the work was initially before the company spun out. And then my dad is from a small village in Andhra, the state of Andhra, and his father was an educator, much like yourself, and he was really very passionate about teaching people reading and especially our language, our native language, Telugu. And he started schools, he educated people, and both of my grandfathers were really all about community, all about service. And I think for me, that's really where it must have come from, in my point of view. So my parents came here in the 70s. They settled in Delaware, like a lot of Indian immigrants at the time, because my dad got a job at DuPont. And my mom was a pediatrician, and her residency was at what was then AI DuPont, now we all call Nemours Children's Hospital. And so in so many ways, I really do think of my family as the quintessential Delaware family, DuPont and AI DuPont. And it was a great childhood growing up here. We went to Red Clay school districts. In fact, Heritage Elementary is our backyard. We tried to get my dad to cut a fence through a hole through our fence, but he's like, that's school property, you can't do that. So we had to walk around it. And then for high school, my brother and I went to Tower Hill and graduated from there, and then it was off to college from there. But so we really had the kind of a typical Delaware childhood.
When I met you, which was 6 or 7 years ago now, you were working in LA. You were thriving in the private sector in Los Angeles, working on port projects and land use and a number of union issues, making sure people got fair wages for their work and got quality work. But then you decided to come back to Delaware, come back home. Why?
That's your fault, mostly. So I think, I did. I had a great career in LA. I was really fortunate to have great mentors, great education from my law school and my undergrad, and I had an opportunity to work in local government, but in a city like LA, something local goes national pretty quickly. So I was on all kinds of different matters involving regulation of private industry and land use projects and economic development projects, and it was really fun. But I interacted a lot with public servants, city's attorneys, council people, commission members, even county folks, and I just had such a desire to serve. I really wanted to give back. But for me, the only place to give back was home, was Delaware. And I had interned previously for Senator Coons, and it was a great experience, but I wanted to come back. And I got a call from a friend of mine who said, hey, Matt Meyer is looking for an economic development director in Newcastle County. And I said, who's Matt Meyer? And what does economic development directors do? I didn't really think it was in my lane. But I started to research a little bit, and then I applied, not knowing if you guys would select me even for an interview. And I think I was told that you actually had the job ready for someone else, and then I showed up.
It's true. I believe in open application processes. So in the back of my mind, like is often the case, I'm like, okay, I know who my person is, but let's be fair, run an open process. And it turned out the person I thought we were going to select was not selected. So
I was tremendously honored you gave me an opportunity. So for those listening, I asked the then county executive, I said, give me a week. This is a pretty big decision. I'm moving across the country. It was COVID. big pay cut. Like, let me just think about this. And he's like, sure, I'll give you a week. He proceeded to call every single day after the offer. And on the third day, I finally relented and said, okay, I'm coming back home. I'm going to serve. And he's like, great. I said, but Mr. County Executive, I need a little bit of time to move. It's COVID. I can't have to pick up my life and figure out how to get it across country. He's like, great, you can start remote and then, work when you get here. And I literally was working remote for about a month until I moved back to Delaware to start full time. And I was with you at a site visit wearing masks and doing the whole economic development pitch on day one of the job back home. So it was really life-changing. And I thank you for offering me that opportunity. But I think the real surprise came when, so you talk about your open process. I don't think a lot of people know that you had an open interview process for every cabinet position. Like, that was a grueling effort that you undertook to keep an open and inclusive way to incorporate.
Except for Adjutant General of the National
Except
Guard.
for Adjutant General of the National Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Not everyone's qualified
Right,
for that
that's right.
role. But yeah, so I think getting an opportunity to interview for your Secretary of State was probably the most nervous I've ever been in my life. The room was filled with like 12 different people, all experts in their fields, and prior Secretaries of State you had in there. Oh my God, it was so intimidating. But yeah, it was a thrill of a lifetime to be nominated. So thank you for
Well,
that
the
honor.
state's very fortunate to have you leading. You know, from corporations to cultural affairs, to the Office of New Americans, to libraries. Can you talk a little bit about what you have a unique perspective? What do you think makes Delaware so unique?
I mean, it is just such a great place to grow up. I mean, if you're growing up here, you have access to so many resources that people don't think about when they think of little tiny Delaware. But you mentioned libraries. Shout out to State Librarian Annie Norman if she's playing. Our libraries are a tremendous resource. My mom, and she'll get mad at me for saying this, but she had to drop us off at a library once when we didn't have childcare. Yeah. And we just spent the afternoon reading books and listening to story time, and literally the day went away and my mom all of a sudden showed up and picked us up and we're like, oh, we have to leave. So, I mean, that's the childhood I had. I had growing up, I was a dancer. I was an Indian classical dancer, so our Division of Arts, which was also under Department of State, is really meaningful to me. And I remember dancing at the Christiana Mall. I danced at the Delaware Art Museum because all of these institutions wanted multicultural styles of dance, and we were invited to dance everywhere. I was even in the Baby Grand for the Jungle Book. I bet you didn't know that. I
did not
performed
know
in the
that.
Baby
That was not on
Grand.
your resume.
Yes.
We did not find that on the background check.
Speaking of, segues, what do you think this flavor is?
It's interesting. It clearly looks like a strawberry, but it's like a trick question.
Okay.
Right? I don't think it's strawberry.
It is not strawberry.
Yeah, it's almost like you took like I think it almost tasted like a pistachio.
Oh.
But it's not pistachio colored. So I think I'm stumped.
Okay, well, that's not bad. Pistachio is not a bad guess. This is Faluda.
Yeah, that's not fair. Faluda. I was about to say Faluda.
Governor, there's all kinds of different ice creams. Every culture embraces ice cream. Did you know that?
Faluda, is that, what culture is that from?
I think it's like a Persian flavor that has migrated across different countries.
You don't even know what culture is from.
I'm pretty sure it's Persian, but it's very commonly eaten in India, I think parts of Africa, and it's like a special drink, actually. It's like a shake that has various flavors, and it's so popular they made it into an ice cream.
Okay, let's do this. If you're watching this, okay, and know what Faluda, have anything about the history or culture of Faluda,
Message us.
You can either message us on social media, go to de.gov/schedule, and there's a box there. Fill out what Faluda is, because I'm actually kind of curious now. I don't just want to rely on ChatGPT and all that Google stuff. I want to hear from you.
We want to know your Faluda stories,
Delaware. Your
Delaware.
Faluda stories.
Yeah. Well, as we go to our next question, next flavor.
Next flavor.
Cheers, Governor.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers,
To
everyone.
what looks like vanilla, but
Okay.
probably is not.
We'll see.
Faluda. I didn't do my ice cream research before tonight.
You should have. So we have a lot of, as you know, the Department of State literally touches.
This is definitely vanilla Faluda, I think. This is.
Incorrect.
Okay, let's keep going.
Okay, what else do you want to talk about? We talked a lot about all the different aspects of the Department of State. Did you know the Public Service Commission is also under the Department of State?
Explain what the Public Service Commission is. Very important.
It's a public body. It's a commission made of citizen members who are basically there to advocate on behalf of the taxpayers when it comes to utility companies. So as you know, in our state, utility companies are privately held, so we have to have a regulatory body that oversees them, and that's what the Public Service Commission does. We also have a public advocate who you actually appointed a new public advocate this year who is really, he's a trained environmental lawyer.
Jameson Tweedy.
Jameson Tweedy, and fantastic public advocate. He is there, literally there for the ratepayer. He sits in the shoes of the people paying their electric and gas and water bills and advocates for their rights and their positions.
See, what I love about our public advocate, and the same can be said of you, Secretary Patibanda-Sanchez, that you, when you come to government, like I was someone who never worked in government before I ran for office, right? Spent some time in the State Department of Iraq, never worked for a state government. And you hear all this stuff about government, and you come in and you find these gems, people who could be making so much more money doing something else, but choose the public interest. Jameson Tweedy's a great example of that, and you're a great example of that.
I appreciate that. I think that is true of all of the Department of State team. These people are so dedicated. Like, for example, in our divisional corporations, which, as you know, brings in just such a steady revenue stream to our state's government, there are people working there for over 40 years. Some, I think, Ronnie, is it 50? Do we have 50-year people over there now? Yeah, they came in as teenagers on the night shift.
How old were you 55 years ago?
I'm not going to answer that question. But yeah, they literally came in as teenagers off the night shift and worked their way up and are now managing or head administrators. And it's just so inspiring. And they love their work. They love their work. And what I try to repeatedly, message to them is how important you think their job is and how much you rely on them.
It's vital to the state.
It really is. And I asked them, actually on an employee picnic recently, I said, how many of your kids go to public schools? And almost everyone raised their hand. And I said, the governor is here using what you do every day to make those schools better.
Yeah.
And so, I think it's good for our state employees to know how deeply you care about them, about their families, because that's who we're fighting for, along with all of the rest of our constituents.
I think you know, Joe, that I talk to every new employee of the state on their first day.
Yep.
I go and tell them that this is what we're about. It's about service. It's not about politics. It's not about dividing communities. It's not about excluding people. It's about accepting people as they are, regardless of what you see on TV. We are a diverse employer. We're an inclusive employer. We bring people together, and we work for everyone in the state. You have 1 million bosses in this state, and our job is to serve them every single day.
I will never forget my new employee orientation at the county. You said to the group, who's your boss? And we all said you, and you're like, no, the taxpayers of Newcastle County are your boss. And I was like, oh, you're right. And actually, every morning when I wake up, I say to myself, what am I doing for the state taxpayers today? Did I earn my salary? Yeah. That's really all that matters. Like, did I earn their trust? Did I earn their money in my pocket? And I'm trying to do something good for them. So, but that all comes from your vision for leading boldly, doing something different, and really making change.
Great, I appreciate that. Speaking of earning your keep for taxpayers, I have to earn my reputation as an ice cream connoisseur.
Yeah. What flavor?
It's like it's similar to that. Like, this is a vanilla with things in it, and what
I'm
those
going to give
things,
you a small hint.
What?
How do you say what in Spanish? ¿Qué sabor?
So it's like is it a Mexican ice cream?
Potentially.
I don't know. I'm Mexican. I didn't study. I thought we were doing Delaware history. I did not study my.
This is a Delaware paleteria. Okay, that's part of Delaware history.
What was the last one? Fatula? Fatula?
Faluda.
Faluda. This is vanilla faluda.
Incorrect. This is queso.
Oh, queso?
Sí.
Queso ice cream. Cheese ice cream.
Cheese ice cream.
How
That's
about
very
that?
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
It is good.
All right. Next flavor, next question.
Next flavor, next question. We're doing some exciting new things. We're going to talk about a little bit with Ronnie a little bit later.
Yep.
But talk about some of the exciting things going on in your work at the Department of State.
We have some really cool. First of all, this is a Department of State brainchild, the Delaware Trivia Night. So as you know, Delaware Day is on December 7th. We typically our state does, a little celebration, but knowing how we kind of operate, I really wanted to do something to involve as many people in the state as we possibly could. And I thought, what better than a good old trivia night, right? And so with the help of Eric, our GIC team, led by Dana Rohrbar, our archives team, led by Megan Peterman, we all came together. People volunteered, Governor. This is outside their normal duties.
19 people throughout
19 people
Wow.
volunteered to plan this event, be staffed at all the locations that are going on
Six
up and down,
locations.
6 locations up and down
All at
state.
small businesses, at
Small
restaurants?
businesses or universities.
Uh-huh.
We wanted to make, and people can play on their couch with their friends or all by themselves. They can come to a bar. They can go to UD, Del State, Del Tech, and just have a good night, and maybe win some serious cash. And we even have some later surprises that we'll talk about.
Can we take a minute
later.
and shout out those small businesses, those restaurants
Yes,
that are
absolutely.
hosting?
So,
I know Rail House has one.
Rail House in Dover, Autumn Arch in Newark, and Dewey
Brewing Company.
Brewing
Thanks,
Company in Dewey Beach. I believe
Harbison,
that
right?
one is at least sold
Harbison
out.
location.
Sorry?
The
Oh,
Harbison.
sorry, the Harbison location, not the Dewey Beach location. Much easier to get to. And I believe most of these locations are pretty full right now. So give it up if you're at a location. Woo! Awesome. So yeah, we're doing a lot of cool things for Delaware 250, which you'll hear about in a little bit. We're doing a lot of innovation right now, trying to streamline our business regulation process. We're doing some really cool stuff in the Division of Small Business when it comes to investing in our entrepreneurs and our founders. We rolled out the Edge 2.0 series. Shout out to CJ
Talk
Bell.
about Edge. What is that?
So Edge grants are really cool. They are the state's opportunity to evaluate a startup company that is looking to scale. So you've had a couple of years of operations, you have your product, you have your service, you have your clientele, but you're looking to hire some people, you're looking to grow into a new space, and you need capital, right? So, where do you go? Maybe you get lucky and you meet a venture capitalist or some type of investment from your family or whatever, but a lot of people don't have access to that. So we stand in the shoes. The Department of State through the Division of Small Business does that. And it's been a great program that was started several years ago, but under the Meyer administration, we've revamped it. And shout out to CJ, the Director of Small Business. He is he's doing wraparound services. So yeah, you get some cash and you get serious money that's going to help you scale your business, but you get so much more support now so that you can grow your business responsibly. And you're not going to just kind of dwindle away the cash and not have anything to show for it. The other thing we're doing is we're really trying to track major return on investment to the state, because we want to prove to our state legislature and all of our stakeholders that each dollar that's invested in a small business is returning 10, 20 times more in our economy.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's great work. Really, really important.
It's a really fun department to be able to run, and we got this. What do you think?
It's yellow. This is like, so I prepared for tonight by eating vanilla chocolate strawberry. I thought a curveball might come. There'd be maybe butter pecan or cookies and cream.
You can't guess this one?
Mint chip, green, white.
No, come on.
It's yellow with pieces
There's
in it.
flavor. Yeah, there's pieces. What are the pieces?
It looks like lemon, but it doesn't taste like lemon.
It's grown in Delaware. This little piece thing.
Is this corn ice cream?
Yes, it is. Elote.
Man.
Good job. All right, we're running low on time, so we're gonna do the last flavor,
Oh, no, I gotta finish corn.
which again looks like vanilla. So we'll see how this goes. The corn is good. I'm taking these to go, right? Okay, cool. How's the game going? Oh wow,
Oh, I know that one.
Eric, you want to ask him some questions?
this is cool.
Let's start with an easy one, Governor.
Last flavor.
Oh, Governor.
Why is Delaware known as the first state?
Delaware, it was known as the first state
This one's so good.
because on December 7th, 1787, 30 delegates in Dover voted to ratify the
we go.
Constitution 5 days before Pennsylvania.
All right. Let's make it a little harder. What is Delaware's official state dog, Madam Secretary?
It was previously the golden retriever, but then became the rescue dog. Go rescue dogs!
Very nice.
The
All
poor
right.
golden retriever.
Let's step it up a little bit. How did the Wilmington Blue Rocks baseball team get its name?
I saw that on there.
Do you know?
I don't know.
Damn, that's actually, oh, sorry. This is really good.
I think there was like a,
Do you want me to give you some
a
multiple
community
choice?
vote.
Correct. That's it, Governor.
Good
A
job.
public naming contest. All right.
I think
Is
I
it
per-
sad that I
I-
remember that?
I think I
was gonna say-
participated when I was a
yeah,
kid,
I remember.
yes.
It's sad. That's not.
All right,
I remember.
here's the last trick question for you. Where was Delaware's oldest free public library located?
I know.
Oldest free public library.
5, 4,
I
3,
should know. I think
2,
it's
1.
Odessa.
Yes! Good job.
Who else has a home in Odessa? Mr. Delaware
Mr.
250.
250.
Correct.
And it's
correct.
part
One
of,
of his Delaware homes.
All right, I'll turn it back to you,
He's the
Governor.
only, Mr. 250 is the only Delawarean I know who has a beach house in Odessa.
correct.
He's got a home in Newcastle County, and his beach house
Is
is
in
in Newcastle County.
But Mr. Delaware also thinks he has a house in Townsend and a house in Odessa, so if I get a house in Middletown, Mr. Delaware would be Mr. MOT.
That's good.
All right, what's your last flavor, sir?
TOM. You have to go in order of that. I think it's coconut. Is that all right?
We have to be a little bit more specific if you can.
Coconut. Coconut.
It's not like a traditional coconut, right?
I think it's pretty traditional.
All right.
I don't know.
It's tender coconut ice
Oh,
cream.
tender coconut?
Yes, meaning like a young coconut.
Nice. Where are these from?
So 2 of these are from Apana Bazaar, which is a Indian, South Asian grocery store. And the other 2 are from a palateria in behind Price's Corner, basically.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So wanted to give you a little shake up today on the ice cream
Nice.
flavors.
Yeah, that was tough.
We know you used to host the ice cream festival, so you have quite a sampling from our Delaware creameries. But
That's right.
I want to throw you a curveball. And I think we're going to take a quick break. Trivia continues.
Hello, and welcome back to Matt Chats. We've added, in addition to the Secretary of State, there are a number of people here. Secretary of State Patibanda-Sanchez, who's still working on her Faluda ice cream.
This one is
corn.
elote. This is
Sorry,
corn.
ice cream.
good.
Do not try this at home. No, you should try it.
should
It's
try
good.
it
It's
at
good.
home.
You should
It's
try
very
good
good.
Delaware corn. We're here with two very, very special guests who both had a lot to do with making this incredible night possible. First ever statewide trivia. Is that right?
Yes.
Public Archive, first ever. We got Megan Peterman, who was recently named the public archivist for the state of Delaware. So welcome. We're excited to talk Delaware history. And we also have with us Mr. 250 himself, Eric Razor Schramm, who has committed from now until December 31st of 2026 to dress in colonial garb. So welcome to you both. Eric, let's start with you, Mr. 250. We're celebrating, in a few weeks, we kick off our 250-year celebration. What makes our story different from every other state in the nation?
I think first and foremost, what I think of is like we're small but mighty, right? With our size, we're compact. From the credit card companies to the corporate franchise tax to the beaches to the chicken farms, that's very unique for Delaware. We're also, I think, a sense of community because of our size, and it brings people together. And I think we've been able to see that even with coordinating this event. Having the 6 locations, everybody gets excited to do work together. The unique blend of cultures, the different parts of the state. And I often joke around that we didn't just join, we started. Right? We started.
That's right. Everybody else
So,
joined.
correct. Everybody else joined after us. So I think those are some things that make us pretty unique. And the great thing about Delaware 250 is, it's our job as Delaware 250. As I often say since I came into this role, is that Delaware 250 is archives is Delaware 250. It's all about the history, and our job as Delaware 250 is to lift up those stories of average, everyday Delawareans. And we want people by the end of next year, regardless of what event they go to, what podcast they listen to, right, what they, that they all feel like they're at home at Delaware. And it's our job to really raise those stories, lift those voices.
Great. Thanks so much, Eric. I really appreciate it. Megan, as we go into the 250th, there is an incredible amount of information that's been preserved, original materials in the public archives. You've looked at a lot of it. What's something surprising? Maybe it's trivia night. What's something you can talk about, a fact maybe that not many Delawareans know about?
Sure. It's really hard to pick just one thing because, as you said, we have so much. A lot of people would probably talk about the charter documents. They are the original land deeds that gave us the land that is Delaware today from the 1600s. And then there's the ratification document that made us the first state. That is the reason we're here right now. And they're really incredible historical documents, but one of my favorite unexpected treasures is something that's probably a little bit more humble and unassuming. There's a ledger called Journal A from Auditor of Accounts in the late 1700s, and I can imagine you might be thinking that sounds really boring. It's just a financial ledger, it just lists payments, but when you open it, it becomes this vivid look at community life during the American Revolution. It lists who was paid for, what they were paid for, and when. And so suddenly you start looking and you see the revolution as more than just big battles and famous people. It becomes everyday Delawareans that are contributing to the effort. They are fixing wagons, they are helping care for the sick, they are giving food, they're sewing uniforms. And so to me, Journal A kind of perfectly captures how to research at the archives and how it works. You encounter this unassuming thing and you kind of pull on that thread, like, who is that person and what did they mean to the state? Where did they live? Where did they come from? Where did they go from here? And suddenly you're uncovering this incredible story about a community, about a life, about a moment. And to me, that's the magic of the archives, right? The smallest document can kind of open the door to something much bigger and richer and fuller history. And that's why I love it. We preserve those really big foundational documents, but we also have like minutes from your last town council meeting. So we have records on so many Delaware towns, and we have photographs and audiovisual records. So it's a treasure trove at the archives, really.
More than just TikTok.
Absolutely.
I will say, too, like they find these artifacts, but they bring them to life in social media, in all of the visual representations, which have been so fun to watch and follow. Sorry.
So in Journal A, so it has the amounts that if
literally has a
somebody
person's
fixed a
name.
wagon and how much they're paid?
Yes.
Did Delaware have its own currency then, or was it the US dollar?
There was some continental currency still carried over from different, and so.
And do you know in modern terms what some of these people were paid per day or
You
per
know,
month?
I have to look into that. We didn't do that kind of research for the exhibit, but that would be so interesting to find
Was
out.
there sales tax?
There was. Great question.
Still no sales tax. Can you talk about, we're really excited about Delaware 250. Can you talk, Eric, why don't you start talking about some of the exciting things we've got planned for next year?
Yeah, one of the first thing, I mean, there's been lots happening over the last year and a half, but this is, as I often say, tonight was our unofficial kickoff, right into the home stretch. So this leads to, on April 18th, we're gonna have a Celebrate Delaware Gala at the Hotel DuPont, where average everyday Delawareans come together. There'll be 3 different rooms. It'll be the 3 different county themes: county music, county food, folks coming together for that. One of the really big things that I'm excited about, and Governor, you might forget that you agreed to do this when I first pitched it to you, but is Governor Meyer will be doing a statewide bike tour on
nice.
July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd with ice cream.
Not-
It'll be
not
very
corn.
Delaware ice cream. We'll be partnering with local creameries. But the idea with the bike tour is on the 4th, the big towns have all their celebrations, right? But the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, we will hit small towns that don't have traditional 4th of July celebrations and have little ice cream socials. So average everyday people can come out and join you and share. You know, to back up a little bit, we do have a group of folks that are planning a reenactment of Caesar Rodney's Ride that starts on July 1st that will go to Philadelphia. We are then partnering with cities and towns throughout the state for all sorts of events.
How are they riding? They're not going horseback.
They are going on horseback.
Would you like to join?
Isn't there a story that
I'm going to turn this to Megan.
Yeah, isn't there a story that like he went by carriage for, like, a lot of the imagery is of Caesar Rodney on horseback, but I think he was quite sick, right?
yes, he
And
was
so he went
incredibly sick.
by carriage,
And
like covered carriage.
Yeah, I think the lore is like he looked like he was about to fall over when he went in. Oh,
Yeah.
And actually, to add to that point, the folks putting it on are partnering with the Amish, and there will be a carriage with the horse.
Oh, no kidding.
For the reenactment from July 1st. So it'll start the morning of July 1st down in Kent County at dawn, and they will arrive by dusk that
Wow,
evening.
single
And-
day.
Yeah, up in Philadelphia. So, and we're doing it a few days ahead so we don't interrupt the setup for the big celebration on July 4th.
That's fantastic.
But that's a really fun event. And then, you know, we're often sharing with people too that, you know, the 250th doesn't just end on July 4th. It goes on for the rest of the year. So the big thing on our end that we're also want a lot of people, our website, Delaware250.org, is the clearinghouse, a calendar for all events that happen Delaware 250. You can submit your own events there. So we are partnering with everybody, but we really want folks to go there to submit everything. We have a grant program which has been running. We're done with that, but you can kind of go on there now and see all the different organizations we funded. And we'll be spending next year really highlighting all those amazing groups throughout the state that are working on Delaware 250 projects. And to that point, there's a couple really cool projects that archives have worked on, and I want to turn that over to Megan.
Thank
because
you.
these are phenomenal.
Yeah, we have a lot happening at the Archives for Delaware 250 that we're excited to share. One of the biggest things is our Tavern Talk
those
series.
props?
I do have some gifts.
Tavern Talk.
Tavern Talk series. So we've been
is cool.
partnering
This
with
is really
local breweries up and down the state, and we'll go and we'll talk about topics related to the American Revolution. And then our friends at First State Heritage Park show up in colonial garb and bring colonial games, and we make a whole tavern night of it. But we'll take those same talks to community groups. We are going to libraries up and down the state as well, and to schools. We'll go in. We're invited, frankly, to talk about the American Revolution. So we're also welcoming a lot of school groups now, and I brought some goodies. They're playing a game that we created called Road to Liberty. So we have this really cool board game, and this is actually a gift for you and your kids,
Oh, wow.
Governor Meyer.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Road to
Okay.
Liberty is a game we created. It follows a path that starts at Separation Day and ends at the signing at Patel's Tavern of the ratification document. And so,
It's like a Delaware board game.
yes, so kids follow a
Created by the
path
Public
along.
Archives.
And we have these really cool 3D
Basically-
pieces that are
like
hand
Monopoly,
painted. We've
but
got a
yes,
little
yeah.
bell, a
Liberty
cannon,
Bell, kinda.
a drum, a horse, and a tri-corner hat. And so
This is really cool.
kids follow the path around, and there's actual archives documents that inform how you get along. So they're learning and playing and having
All
fun.
right, let's
at the
pick
same
one
time.
out and see what we get.
Okay.
Wait, which piece are you?
I am the Liberty Bell.
Liberty Bell.
I'm gonna take a horse.
All right. So your first
Oh,
card.
you you start with England.
Oh, so your
Separation
first one
Day.
is Black Camp Rebellion. So you get to move
Sussex County Loyalists.
all the way almost to the end.
Sussex County Loyalists near Georgetown tried to stop the revolution.
You can look how far you get to go.
You basically won.
Well, now let's have the secretary go. No.
That's why.
There you
I want to
go.
see a card. I want to see a card.
There you go.
What does this mean?
You got 2 green
Two
spaces.
greens, just like
two
Candyland.
greens. So
Okay,
up to
dude.
here?
Yep.
Wow, I'm so
You
so
don't
far
get to go
behind.
Duck Creek.
Here you go. 2 reds.
Just the 2 of you aren't playing? Eric,
and
you want to get one? And
You
go?
win.
2 reds. And there
Where
you
you
go.
win. Yeah, literally.
you-
Game over.
Kids,
I
don't
got a
don't
strategy,
play this
yeah, if
card
anybody wants
first.
strategy.
Don't do this one first.
shut
If
Hold on
anyone's
in the
Road
end.
to Liberty strategy, I'll give
I do
you.
want to share my first day at Archives working on Delaware 250. I came in, and in the research room, all these fourth graders were in there playing this game
Yeah.
at Archives, and it's so amazing to watch. We've had so many people request this game
Yeah.
that we're trying to figure out how to reproduce it, right?
Oh, this is
because
great.
these were from a 3D printer, and you can imagine doing
Yeah.
that many pieces. I do know, this is a plug for the state. These boards we can't find through the state contract, so they might have had to been purchased by Amazon. So again, lots of work though, that we need to do, right?
Yeah, to make sure we can
to reproduce
manufacture
this
it.
game. But you can also, and if this isn't your talking points, I apologize.
You're good. Go ahead.
There's a link online where you can print this out.
What's-
So teachers.
How do you get there?
Just go on our website.
To Delaware Public
Yep,
Archives.
so we have a whole actually educator resources page that has stuff about 250 and even beyond 250 that teachers could go on. We've got lesson plans, we've got resource guides, we're working on primary source packets. We've got all kinds of stuff, and we even have a page dedicated to all the Delaware 250 resources as well, and this game is there.
I do not want to play against John Dunn, because John Dunn is
Killing the game.
killing the
it.
game,
Yeah.
and hats off to John Dunn.
I get really
For
excited
trivia.
about this, so I'm going to make Megan do this plug.
Okay.
Because
All right.
this is one of the
This is
most.
really
So
cool.
in
This is really
addition to the Road to Liberty game, we also have a Delaware 250 activity booklet. We've partnered with Department of Education, Delaware 250, and we have this cool activity book that is 4th grade level. So we're really excited to partner with schools and get this out to all the
Every
teachers.
4th grader in Delaware.
Wow, can I see one?
Absolutely.
They're yours.
Those are yours for your
Fantastic.
kiddos.
This is fun.
Also, Megan, we looked it up. $1 in 1778 is equivalent to $23 today.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
wow.
Wow, imagine they invested
Wow.
$1.
Yeah, so we just finalized this book and we're really excited to share it. And like I said, all of this stuff is available on our website, archives.delaware.
Megan, I have a question for you.
Yes. Uh-oh.
Do you know what happened to I'm the 76th governor of Delaware.
Oh God, here we go.
Do you know what happened to the first governor of Delaware?
Did he get kidnapped?
He got kidnapped.
Say it loud. Say it loud.
He got kidnapped.
And the story is, no comments from the people down. The story is that apparently, he was kidnapped by the British, I think on a ship right in the Delaware River, or Delaware Bay. And they went, after a few weeks or months, they went to the Delaware legislature and they said for a relatively modest sum, that if they paid ransom, they would let the governor go and come back. And the legislature said, no, you cannot. And so he left office and they got to stay. In the first, 12, 18 months, there were something like 4 governors in the state. They actually were called, Governor McKinley was the first governor who was called president.
Yeah.
So,
Did you know during the American Revolution, people used to literally just get in their boats and defend the waters. They were called privateers, and so we actually had Delaware pirates back in the day.
oh wow.
We could do a reenactment of the kidnapping, perhaps.
Oh,
There you go.
We
with
have
the current
boats.
governor. Just dressed
Just an
up.
idea. Right.
This is it,
Keep-
yeah.
And I
Interesting.
think we are going to go to break number 2. So back to trivia as it continues. Question 40.
Welcome back to Matt Chast, this very special live historic trivia night edition of Matt Chats. It was great to talk to Eric and Megan. I'm still here with our wonderful Secretary of State, Patibanda-Sanchez, and with her great leadership and the leadership of a number of state legislators. We recently formed the first Office of New Americans for our state. We're here with the first director of that office, Ronnie Balthazar Lopez. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, welcome. We launched the office to help workers, families, and students thrive here. Can you just talk a little bit about what this Office of New Americans does and why it's important?
Let me just say that I'm honored to be sitting by two honorables at the same time. It's the first time that I've done so. But so the Office of New Americans, we're I want to say 1.5 team, because the Honorable Secretary of State is utilizing the other person. So
We didn't have a lot of funds to start this office. It's really being powered by passion, love, and dedication.
Yes, it's
by-
public service at heart.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
Well, so this office is committed to actually empowering our immigrant community in the state of Delaware. I am the son of immigrants myself, born and raised in Milford. My mother, who I hope is watching. Mamá, si me está viendo. Hola.
Hola, mama.
My mother is from Mexico, and my dad is from Guatemala. And so they immigrated to the U.S. Around the 90s, had me, their firstborn, their only superstar son, because I have
He
two
has
other
two
brothers
other brothers, yeah.
who are probably watching.
So
They're
you're
probably jealous.
Not the only son,
Not
but
the only son.
superstar.
The only superstar.
According to you, they're voters, so I'm
Well,
going
I
to
will
say.
say one of them works in our veterans home.
Yes, he
So
does.
he is actually kind of a rock star too.
Yeah, I'll give them that.
Jeez.
So this office is really working to empower our immigrant community across the state. And I'm really excited to go on this listening tour at the beginning of next year to understand the priorities and the challenges that our immigrant community is facing. As you know, it's a very tough time right now under this administration. Everybody is fearing interacting with federal law enforcement, with just state enforcement. And so we're really trying to be that state critical office that is a safeguard for people and where people feel safe, and people can utilize us for resources and services.
Yeah. No, that's great. Listen, really appreciate it. Now, it's particularly important now. I know it's been talked about for years, but this is really the right time. There's no better time to start.
Ronnie
something
really
like
is
this.
the right person.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
his story, his family, his passion, his just unwavering dedication.
And his years of service
Yes,
already to the
yes.
people of the
Yeah,
state.
he's worked in the Attorney General's office, he's worked for Department of State, he was the policy and comms director, and he played, I mean, that's 20 different divisions that he's running, legislation, comms, like he has so much experience tackling time management, all of it, and this is going to be an office that people are going to call, right? They're going to call. We want them to call, but
Yeah.
it's going to be him answering the phone, right? So, no AI for you. Sorry.
So Ronnie, let's talk honest, like no frills, sugar-free for a minute. Like when Delaware's a state of neighbors, right? There are a lot of communities and people that have been here a long time, and a lot of small towns and smaller cities. That's what makes up our state. And we're pretty close-knit. And when people come in from outside with different culture, different food, I think, good faith people might have a little bit of fear, right? Just wondering I like Delaware, I love my town, I love my culture. Now people are coming in, playing music, eating food, maybe praying to gods that I don't necessarily understand. What do you say to those Delawareans, not necessarily hateful people, right? God-fearing people who just want best for their community?
So what I would say to those who are fearing, those who feel uneasy when they see a person of color, someone from a different country who speaks differently than them, who praises differently than them, that our immigrants send their kids to the same school that we send our kids to. Our immigrants are driving on the same roads that we drive to work. We're paying taxes. They're also contributing to our society in cultural ways. And so when there's rhetoric, whether it's from this federal administration or just general lack of knowledge of the immigrant community, I think people just need to understand that there's more that unites us as a community, whether we come from Southeast Asia or whether we come from Latin America. There's so much that unites us and divides us. Immigrants, they contribute so much to our society, billions of dollars into our economy. They shop and eat in our restaurants. They are small business owners. 1 in 10 Delawareans are of immigrant descent. And the largest share of our immigrant population in Delaware is from Mexico, India, Guatemala. We have a growing and thriving population of Haitian Creole individuals downstate. And when I see immigrants, and not just because I'm an immigrant, a son of immigrants as well, I think we bring something that, that enriches our cultures as America, or Americans. America was built by the backs of immigrants, and that's the premise that we should continue, especially now that we're heading into our 250th anniversary.
Absolutely. One thing I find incredible, once you get elected to office, and it's probably true of a number of people in public service, you have access to all these communities. I go not just to churches and synagogues, but to mosques, to Hindu temples, to Sikh temples, all these places that I really knew next to nothing about. And I'm often the only person who looks different in the room. And the amazing thing, amidst so many different immigrant communities, whether it's Guatemalans or Mexicans or Haitians or Indians or Chinese or French or Nigerian communities, they are so pro-American. They're so patriotic. Not every community, but many people came here to realize wealth and opportunity and freedom that their family had never known before. And it's incredible to be in these communities. And I'm like, wow, these people, they are so as patriotic as the most patriotic community in Delaware.
And when we talk about diversity, and diversity matters, the Secretary of State is the first person of color to hold this position. And she's the first Southeast Asian person to be in this position. And I think is the most highest ranking person from that society in our state. And so we tend to forget that diversity does matter. Growing up, I didn't see really much of myself in these positions. And it wasn't something that we talked about. We just went with it. And my parents faced a lot of challenges. I know the Secretary's parents probably also did face discrimination and biases, and probably still do. And we in our communities still do, and to this day. And so I'm hoping that with this Office of New Americans, we can shed a better light and a positive note on the immigrant community and their contributions to our state.
Great. No, that's fantastic. And that's nice, but Ronnie, I think I like metrics. I like measurables. If we're investing state dollars in this, we need to show return for the residents of our state. Can you talk a little bit about what's coming for the Office of New Americans, yes, what we're going to see in the next 3 to 5 years, what we as Delawareans can expect, yes, from the office?
So something that we're working on, we will be working on, similar to other offices of New Americans across the state, is workforce development. We want to connect immigrants to job opportunities and to opportunities where they can integrate, whether it's through language, so providing access and better services through ESL classes, making sure that we have language access plans for our state agencies, because we know that the programs and the resources are there. They're just not in a linguistically and a culturally available mechanism for our immigrant community. So making sure that our state is, compliant and just better serving our community. And we're also going to take on the immigration assistance for those who are trying to apply for citizenship, trying to be a liaison to the federal government, because we understand that our immigrant community is fearful of interacting with not ICE, but USCIS and the other federal partner agencies.
Great. It's vitally important, especially now. As I've said time and again, it's really important that we have an inclusive Delaware. This is a Delaware for everyone. Yes. Not everyone, but just about everyone here, yeah, has a story of a grandparent, a great-great-grandparent, a great-great-great-great-grandparent who first set their foot into Delaware. Yeah. And we got to make sure it's a place of opportunity for all. And I appreciate your leading role in that.
Bueno, muchas gracias por la oportunidad de servir en esta capacidad. And for those who don't speak English, thank you for allowing me to serve in this capacity. Yes, English, yes, Spanish.
Yeah.
Governor, it looks like we have our winners from trivia.
Wow. How about John Dunn got beat?
John Dunn got beat.
I thought John went into
John.
the big lead.
Congratulations to Sarah Crispell. First prize, second prize goes to John Dunn, and third prize to Sampa Das. Amazing. Well, look at those point totals.
Wow,
It's
that is
crazy.
34 of 50 correct.
I mean, you also got a couple extra points if you answered quickly, right? Because we wanted people
Gotcha.
to know their Delaware trivia right off the top of their head.
Can I just point out, we had 625 people playing.
625
625
Give that
people.
away. Give him a round of applause.
Oh,
625 people.
That's like, that's the whole population of Delaware, isn't it? Oh, that wasn't a question, so I don't know whether. Great, fantastic. So, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you to our amazing Madam Honorable Secretary, Patibanda-Sanchez. Really, truly, as Ronnie mentioned, making history for our state, not just with your past and your heritage, which is amazing, but also with the future you're building for Delawareans. We didn't even talk about the port,
I know!
which is destined to be maybe the greatest economic development project in the history of our state. Thank you to Megan, our public archivist, who is on, Mr. 250 himself. I think that was Eric Razor Schramm. I don't know, he's dressed a little bit differently tonight. And of course, Ronnie Balthazar Lopez. Thank you so much. I'm Matt Meyer, your 76th governor. Really appreciate all the participation tonight in this extraordinary first state trivia. You can say you were there. You were one of 625
Yep.
who was there on that first night. Thanks for participating in this edition of Matt Chats.